Shit fire. Sister's husband committed suicide by jumping off the cliff over there.
She left.
Because, dude, okay, I know you don't believe in ghosts because we're all Christian here.
Are you kidding?
What? Because I
talk to them all the time.
Oh my God. All right, so his grandma's sister's name was Pearl. Her husband jumped off this cliff and killed himself. We have a cow, Jamie, whose name is Pearl.
She's named after me because I wear pearls every day.
And you wear pearls?
Every day.
Morning, folks. Lester here. And listen to me. If you've not watched a Longhorn Lester video up until this point, you have to watch this one today because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. I'm hoping the same way it has blown mine. Now listen, I got this book from a friend named Karen who follows the page. And this book has told me all kinds of information about this area along the Trinity River where we have property, Longhorn Lester's. So today I'm going to actually show you something that just, I can't seem to put my mind around it yet. I've got my drone. We're going to drive down the road. I'm going to show you a historical marker. And then I'm going to take the drone up and show you the proximity of where something really significant happened in Texas history, in U.S. history, and how close it is to Longhorn Lester's, which means that that river that comes right around, right there, y'all, was a major focal point. Chrissy, leave her alone. Y'all come with me. Do not make me do this alone. Come with me. We're going to have some fun. You're in for a treat. All right, there's a little bit of history that I've already talked to you guys about that I want to remind you of. All right, so there in the distance, down the high ridge, is the mighty Trinity River. You already know that this river is the largest in Texas. It extends all the way from around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, all the way down through Houston. It empties into the Trinity Bay, which runs into the Gulf of Mexico. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. We've also learned about lots of the indigenous people who inhabited this land. We've even found artifacts and talked all about those things. So none of that is new to anybody. What we were reading about the last time we had a history lesson was the use of this river during the American Civil War. We already know there was this major battle in Galveston, Texas, around Galveston Bay, between the Union and the Confederate soldiers. My friends, you have no idea what I'm about to show you right now. I'm sitting with John Taylor, and he's the historian for this area. This right here is the site of Smithfield, and I'm about to tell you a story that you're not going to... Gosh, my friends, this right here was a staging point. That staging area is where they trained their troops of what to do. That's where they gathered their reinforcements. They began to put all their troops together. They found transportation, which were steamboats that traveled down this river. Mr. Taylor's great-grandpa, who actually ran 2 steamboats that normally was used to haul cotton, was actually commissioned, used by the Confederacy to haul troops down to Galveston. In that Battle of Galveston Bay, he lost one of his steamships, caught on fire. He says that from the stories, the Confederate soldiers were hiding behind the large bales of cotton shooting out. It ended up catching on fire and he lost one of his steamships. As I stand here right now and I look across this big open pasture, I'm guessing probably 30, 40 acres. To imagine that once upon a time, this would have been a place where Confederate soldiers would have unloaded off of the ferry or steamboats and set up camp, practiced their formations, worked on maneuvers, It's okay. So you're saying that he lost one of his steamships in Galveston when they went to take it back?
And they took the Harriet Lane,
Uh-huh.
the biggest ship in the Gulf. That was the first one at Fort Sumner. It was there, and they took it.
What amazing history. And it's a pleasure talking to you. You've added a whole lot to this chapter of man.
Yeah, but you don't know the good part, too.
Wait, there's more?
When he died...
Okay, he had Confederate money. It's like thousands of acres here. They owned a lot. So he probably owned the property that I own now. The little property there along the river. And then some.
Listen.
Oh, no, you're laughing. What's wrong?
No.
Hold on. I got to make sure I get this, because this is crazy, because I'm telling you something. You told me that her sister's husband committed suicide by jumping off the cliff over there.
She left.
Because, okay, I know you don't believe in ghosts because we're all Christian here.
Are you kidding?
What? Because I
talk to them all the time.
Oh, my God.
No.
No, because I think the land is haunted. I think my property's haunted.
I know it is.
Oh, no, you're scaring me, brother. You're scaring me. And I got the goosebumps all over me. Oh, my God.
Night.
Yes, I do hear noises at night.
So did Mr. Simmons.
Oh, Mo. Okay. Sir, we got to talk more. I know you got to go, but we got to talk more about this. Please. I need the whole story. Or do I want to know the story? I'm a little bit nervous now. Hold on. Her name was Aunt Pearl.
Yeah.
That's
Pearl Wiggin.
Okay. That's awesome, because one of my Longhorns is named Pearl.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy? All the connections that we're making today. That was a pleasure meeting Coach Taylor. He said for 46 years he taught history and coached. And he knows a whole lot more than what I ever found in this book, Miss Karen. Thank you for the book. Sorry about the drone flight. My friends, this story is just getting started, though. Wow. All right, since I couldn't fly you to Longhorn Lester's, I'm just going to drive you, okay? So you guys hold on. We're going to drive to Longhorn Lester's. The way the crow flies, that right there, that clearing through those trees, is that field, Smithfield. What an amazing story. I'm gonna walk over to my prayer place and sit down for a minute with you and paraphrase, just kind of put into my own words, all that I learned today. This is gonna combine what I've read, what I discovered from talking to Mr. Taylor, Coach Taylor, who is the area historian and pastor to the local church. And we're gonna kind of put all this together, okay? So y'all bear with me. Okay, we're talking about the mid-1800s, 1860-ish. And the Confederacy was using this river to move supplies from Galveston Bay using steamboats coming up the river and fortifying their troops who were fighting against the North. Sweetie, I'm making a video. Very important here, okay? I love you like that. Now, the Union realized how these troops were fortifying themselves. So what they did was they went and put a blockade on Galveston Island, around Galveston Island. They put a blockade around the port, the harbor there, so that, you couldn't bring in more supplies, try to starve the soldiers out. So what happened was the Confederacy knew the importance of having that port open, and so they sent troops from the north down south to fight and open the port. They stopped along through here, and they had a staging area. That staging area is where they trained their troops of what to do. They found transportation, which were steamboats that traveled down this river. Mr. Taylor's great-grandpa, who actually ran 2 steamboats that normally was used to haul cotton, was actually not confiscated, but used by the Confederacy to haul troops down to Galveston. He lost one of his steamships, caught on fire. He says that from the stories, the Confederate soldiers were hiding behind the large bales of cotton shooting out. It ended up catching on fire and he lost one of his steamships. Adding to that story, his grandpa's wife had a sister whose husband committed suicide by jumping off one of these cliffs. Ever since then, this land has been haunted by noises and strange occurrences, which we, my friends, are testaments to that. We have, don't even get me started on all the spooky, scary things that have happened around here. And where's it always happening? On this side of the property. I am just enchanted. I am even more enchanted now with the history of this land than I ever have been before. And I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all for being on this journey with me as we begin to discover more. Karen, Miss Glenn, I want to thank you for the book. That has kind of put all of the cogs in motion, all the cogs. Now, guys, let's not forget, we already have learned a whole lot about the Native Americans who've used the river and this land around it. We've also learned about the early settlers who lived here and how they bought the land for its timber and floated that timber downriver. Kitty, stop. Floated that timber using this river down to a sawmill. They hired the Native Americans, the indigenous people, to help float them logs. We have found all kinds of artifacts from around this area, and then to find out about this one very, very wealthy man who had tons of Confederate money, yet at the end of the Civil War, his money was worthless. His money was worthless. Confederate money at this point is worthless. I mean, I guess it has a value as far as relics, but there's no monetary value. Wow. And all of that happened right here.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.